The dormant monster awoke from its slumber. Takeshi Sendo realized that the unbeatable god wasn't what he really is. He is a fraud. Ricardo is weak. He is just one man who happens to be a champion. He is no IPPO. He is no immovable object like his rival. He is just a normal guy. He is defeatable. That is the Takeshi Sendo we all know and love. The unbeatable Naniwa tiger. His grandmother knows the true Sendo. She knew this isn't who Sendo was. The Sendo she knows is a leader, a monster, an unbeatable offensive force who gets what he wants. Sendo was born a winner. Sendo will give it his all. Versus the strongest featherweight boxer in the history of the sport. Sendo will rise to the heavens and ascend the meaning of God. He will become God himself, the god of boxing. This is what Sendo needs to rewrite history. He needs to become the man with the pen. He needs to write it for himself. Sendo's story is just beginning, and if he wins, this is where it starts. Chapter 1507 is the beginning of the epic of Sendo. This is his odyssey. Wait, what's going on? It's 8 a.m. Why am I up so early? I just had a weird dream where I was glazing Sendo to no end. I guess it wasn't a dream after all? What the hell? Alright, let's go back to reality. Sendo is finally locked in, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. Unfortunately, the chapter was only 9 pages, but the art was definitely one of his best in a while. These two Sendo panels are just so raw, like look at them. He's at 120% power, and we're all here for it. Sendo will give us a great match, but I still don't see him winning. He locked in way too late. We're 20 seconds away from the end of round 3, and Ricardo hasn't taken much damage yet. Honestly, he just hasn't taken any damage at all besides his arm. He never took a clean hit yet. The only way I see this being relatively close is if Sendo figures out that Ricardo's arm is bruised up later on. He would have to build up that damage again. It'll be a lot easier than before since it was already injured, but as we saw last chapter, Ricardo's arm is healed up. There are going to be times in the fight where Ricardo will be forced to guard, and over time, it'll build up again. The pain will rise. I'm sure it will. Please, we need that copium. The closer this fight is, the more likely IPPO will come back. I just want Ricardo to call out IPPO, man, just do it! The chapter continues where we left off in the previous one. Sendo is locking and loading, a powerful punch coming Ricardo's way. His offensive was filled with pressure. Ricardo was bewildered on how Sendo suddenly got his drive back. How will Sendo continue his run versus Ricardo? Let's find out. This is the latest chapter of Hajime no IPPO, chapter 1507, titled Comeback Knuckles. Sendo screams, "Believe in my," as he squeezes the life out of his fist, ready to annihilate Ricardo's whole career. His fists rip apart the fabric of reality. His glove is no longer in existence. He has eaten the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Sendo has become Monkey D. Luffy. We are reading One Piece. We are in the Elbaf arc. Elbaf is almost over. The God Valley flashback is almost over. We gotta... Alright, bro, wake up, wake up.
Wake up.
He charges up a Gum Gum rifle, and Ricardo is very cautious. Believe in my knuckles. The swing is narrowly avoided by Ricardo. He loses balance as he moves away from the monstrous strike. Ricardo has no idea what triggered this, but he's back on the attack? What made Sendo lock in? We all know it was our GOAT, IPPO. He also mentions that they're big, empty swings, but they're backed up by immense pressure. He's feeling the fangs of the King of Tigers. But that's not all. He's still attacking. The fangs haven't sheathed yet. Another powerful strike is setting sail. Will Ricardo survive this? He does, but not without injury. The rifle lands. Yes, Sendo has one of his own, not just you know. In fact, it's a bazooka. This strike is 100 times more powerful than what your pathetic arms can do. Sendo is him. All right, bro, the glaze is real. We get it. Relax. Get out of here.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
Ricardo almost tips over, and it was just from Sendo grazing his shoulder. Ricardo tries to get back to form, but Sendo won't waver. He noticed that he lost his balance there, and he knows that if he continues his pressure, Ricardo will fall once again. Oh man, I really hope we do see Sendo down Ricardo in this fight with a crazy blow. Not just him losing balance, not just him getting grazed. We need something that's head on, dead on in his stomach, or dead on in his face. I want to see him in fear of taking the fangs of Sendo. Just like how IPPO did in fight 2, IPPO getting scared for a little bit. Obviously, Ricardo would shake it off way faster, probably by the next round. Hopefully it happens this round where Ricardo gets shook, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Hopefully it happens throughout the fight, and then Ricardo's actually feeling fear and is also proud of Sendo because he really expected Sendo to be his toughest fight yet. That's why he fought Wally in the first place. He did that to prepare for Sendo, to prepare for those animal instincts. Takamura and Date cannot believe their eyes. Is Sendo back to form? Has he become a monster in the middle of the fight? Was Takamura wrong the whole time? Was the fandom doubting the Naniwa Tiger? Man, he sure does look like a monster. Sure looks like he crossed the line in the middle of the fight. I sure was on that side. I was sure on the hating side, but Sendo was probably going to get washed, and this was going to be an unfortunate buildup of 20 years of Sendo versus Ricardo, and this was just going to be a wash, but I think we're wrong here. I think he's back. But at least we're back on the Tiger train. Sendo may actually win this. Ricardo won't be able to tame this beast. IPPO recognizes something. That's the Sendo's iconic technique. Halfway between a hook and an uppercut. The 3/4 blow from a diagonal angle. Sendo's fist squeezes like his life depends on it. His fist has a will of its own, a will to destroy everything in its path. Sendo will show Ricardo what it means to be strong. Everything is on the line. IPPO is sweating like he's in the match himself. Like, what are you doing, little bro? That punch isn't for you. The smash is on its way. Sendo will show Ricardo what it's like to be rocked by the strongest punch in the featherweight division. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. See you guys next time.